Well, Maria, it's really nice to see you here at the LATAM conference in Mexico City.
Nice to meet you, Rodney. How are you?
Good. And it's so good to see you in person after all the things we've done virtually.
Indeed. Finally, we met.
So I do a lot in the direct corporate tax space, but you're in indirect tax.
Rodney, indirect tax is real tax.
No, I know who you've been talking to. So tell me what you do.
So I'm the global operations lead for indirect tax compliance. So basically, I oversee the entire indirect tax compliance across the different team members. So I work with the compliance centers in different locations. I work with the local KPMG offices, and I also work with the Center of Excellence when we deliver indirect tax compliance to our clients.
From a centralized location.
Correct, yes. From Switzerland.
Interesting. And just thinking about that centralized location point, I can only imagine that the world of indirect tax compliance has changed a lot in the last 5-10 years or so. Give me your perspectives.
Indeed. I was in the last summit in Dublin a year ago, and we're having these breakout sessions with different clients, and then we're presenting to the entire audience the outcome. And one of our clients said, look, 6 years ago, we'll be discussing here at these summits ECJ cases. Nowadays, when we talk about indirect tax compliance, it's all about data. And I think it's spot on, that comment.
Yep.
It really resonated to me how indirect tax compliance has changed from 10 years ago.
So that's amazing. And with the explosion of data, that's got to be so unmanageable for so many people. So how do you support clients in this space?
I think from different angles. If I speak from compliance perspective, we provide clients with data insights. Rodney, to every client that I ask, what's your number one priority, is to get analytics, to get insights on their data. So we provide to clients an analytics around the data quality, not only on a local basis, but on a global or regional basis. So that clients can also understand whether they have gaps in their tax code determination or in the master data, etc. On the e-invoicing or digital reporting perspective, we do have a team that supports clients on defining and assisting with the global e-invoicing strategy. E-invoicing and digital reporting is a key pillar for clients when it comes to indirect tax compliance, and they do need to get ready for the future. And we see more and more demand from clients asking us to, hey, where do I start from? What's my strategy? Can you help me on that?
And that's interesting. And it's a global strategy versus a country by country.
Yes, because ultimately clients, for what I have seen from my experience, is that they don't want a localized model. They want a provider that can help clients on the e-invoicing, but on a global basis. And as much countries as they can cover, the better.
Like, makes total sense. And then you were talking about analytics. Is that a big part of what you do, or?
It's actually a big part because it's very in demand now from clients. So I think that in the last 12 months, we have received like 50% of requests from clients around, hey, how does my data look like? Clients know the data for one jurisdiction, but that's not sufficient for them. They want to really understand, hey, what are my key data issues for Europe? What are my key data issues for LATAM? Or what are my key data issues for Asia Pacific? So this is something that we are developing. We are working with clients to develop and to give them that data insight.
I can only imagine that the more you offer people analytics, the more analytics they ask for. How does that work?
You know how I call that? Paralysis by analysis. Clients want more data insight, giving more analytics, more data. And then there is a point that they get paralyzed because they don't know where to start from. So this is where we chip in and we say, okay, these are your data quality issues, and this is how we could support you, and this is how we suggest to prioritize those. Because sometimes they don't really know where to start from. They get the list and they are like, okay, what do I do now?
Got it. I want lots of data, but then I'm not quite sure what to do with it. So can you help me figure out what to do with the more data I'm going to ask for?
Yes.
And so I can imagine in indirect tax, just like other parts of tax, there's a real fight for talent and winning the hearts and minds of the next generation. How do you explain this to the next generation?
I'm very, I wouldn't say concerned, but I'm very aware that we will need to give to any generation a bit of purpose on what we do. And I think this is from my personal standpoint. I really try to explain to the new joiners the mission, the vision of what we do every day, and why it's important, and why they come every day to work, and how, through our work that we do every day, we assist clients on making the indirect tax compliance future-proof. I'll give one example. There was this new joiner, and I think she's a senior, so she has been in the company for like 2-3 years, and she approached me probably like 5 months ago. Maria, I know you work on the business development side. Could I support you on just shadowing you on what you do when you are pitching for a new client, because that's just something that I do. And I said, sure. And we had to develop like a proof of concept, like a prepared return, a mock return for a client, so that we could show to them how the return would look like under the KPMG model. And she did it herself.
Nice.
And I asked her, look, do you want to present to the client? Come with me to the meeting, and it's all yours. And so she did it herself, and actually we won this client. And I think that's what we also need to make sure, that we have the new joiners making part of what we do every day.
So that's a really nice message to end the discussion on, Maria, giving everyone a sense of purpose and the why am I here today, and then giving people an opportunity to grow just as quickly as they're able.
Exactly. Sometimes we tend to be very hierarchical, like, oh, why would a new joiner be part of a pitch? If she wants to do it, surely I will oversee the person, but I think it's very, very important, in particular with new generation, to give them purpose. I think more than ever, when I joined KPMG 11 years ago, there was no need for purpose for me, because I knew what was the purpose. I was looking forward to work for KPMG, and I was super proud, and I'm still super, super proud. I think nowadays, you need to give to the new generation more purpose.
Wonderful. Makes total sense. I'm sure your enthusiasm captivates everyone in your group. So I'm sure just talking about this move from law to data and analytics, you're going to be in great demand here. Thank you for spending a few minutes.
Thank you, Rodney.